Alright, what's up YouTube? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make homemade chili with venison, but you could use ground turkey or just ground beef, whatever you want. And you don't have to use ground, you could cut it up. I've done this before, where you cut your meat up into about sugar cube sized pieces, and that works pretty good. But this is everything you need. You need 3 medium-sized tomatoes. I got 2 of these peppers. I forget what they're called, but they're like big jalapenos. And then you need 1 large onion. And then you need a 29-ounce can of tomato sauce. You could either use a 29-ounce can of this or these small ones, but I got the small ones because I wanted to mix them up. So I got dark red kidney beans and light red kidney beans. So that way I didn't have to just buy like 1 can of like one uniform color, you know. And then I got 2 15-ounce cans of pinto beans. Then you need chili powder and ground cumin, black pepper and salt. I have some minced garlic and then some olive oil. I have celery. And then some instant mashed potatoes for thickening it. Around 2.5 pounds probably of ground venison. And then I got this just to for like a topping. You don't have to have this pepper jack because that's what I like. But you could use cheddar, whatever you want. And then some sour cream. So I'm gonna get going cutting up the veggies because no one wants to see that. And then I'll get back with the next step. Alright, so I'm back and this is the next step. I put about maybe 2 tablespoons of olive oil in this big pot, stock pot. And now the next step is I'm going to brown up my meat. Get it nice and brown. And I'm also going to add some of the garlic now. Shit. I dropped that whole thing there. Good thing I wasn't heated up already. So, got the ground meat in there. Now I'm going to add about a tablespoon or so of this garlic. If I can open it. Just to give it some little bit of flavor. Alright, that should be good. And while doing that, I'm gonna get this all nice and mixed up, and broken up. Usually want it about like the consistency of taco meat. So real nice and chopped up, broken up. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but the celery, you want like 1 stalk, maybe about ½ cup or so of celery once it's diced up. But in the description, I'm going to put all the exact measurements. But I'm going to go ahead and get this browned up, and I'll come back with the next step. Alright, so I'm back, and the meat's all nice and browned up. And I also forgot to mention that the reason you add oil is because venison has like no fat at all, so it doesn't make any grease. But if you were using ground beef, you wouldn't need to add oil. So, forgot to mention that. But anyway, when I get to about like that, I add my tomato sauce. And a lot of people saute the onion and stuff like that with it, but I found it really doesn't make a difference at all. Then here's the seasoning. And what this is 3 tablespoons of chili powder, 2.5 teaspoons of cumin, 2.5 teaspoons of table salt, and 2 teaspoons of black pepper. Get that all added. I'm gonna give that a stir. Then I'm gonna add all the veggies. Try to cube them up in nice diced up sized pieces. Then I'm going to add all my cans, and I leave the liquid too. I add the liquid and the beans. You know, I add it all. I'm doing this one-handed, so it's kind of a pain, but alright, so I skipped ahead a little bit. I paused it so you didn't have to see me walking back and forth pouring out the beans, but I got all the ingredients added. Now I'm going to stir this up as best as I can, and going to add some water now. I'm just doing 2 cans full because this will cook down quite a bit. So just 2 cans of water. Get it all nice and mixed around so it looks like that. And I'm going to put it on the heat at a pretty fair amount. Probably crank it up a little bit, and then when this comes to a boil, I'm going to stir it, and I'm going to put it on a very low heat just to let it simmer. And I'm going to come back and stir it probably every 15 minutes. So I'm going to get off here until this starts boiling, and I'll be back. Alright, so this is pretty much at a good boil now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the heat down and just let it simmer for the next 3 hours or so. I'm going to stir it every 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, and I'm going to start doing the dishes and stuff, and I'll get back to you. Alright, so we're about 2 hours into the cook. I'm going to give it a stir and show you guys what it looks like. It's starting to look more like chili. Still a little soupy, but looks like everything's cooking down nicely. And I'm going to have cornbread with this, so I'm going to get going on that. I would show you all how to make that, but I'm just making Jiffy, so you know, that's pretty much self-explanatory. Directions on the box. But alright, I'll get back when it's about done. Alright, what's up guys, I'm back. So my cornbread's done, and the chili is done. Just about. Right now it's kind of soupy, so you could have it like this. This is probably like, I would say, about the consistency of Wendy's chili, which I do enjoy, but I want it a little thicker. So I'm going to put about 2 to 3 tablespoons of this in here, and I'm just going to eyeball it. And this will thicken it up. You can use flour, but I like using this better. I think this tastes better. It's not as hard to use. Flour If you're going to use flour, you got to mix it up in a separate bowl because it will clump up in here. And these instant mashed potatoes, they just taste great and they don't clump up like flour does. I'm going to use just a hair more. This shit expands like instantly as soon as you stir it in, so you know there's no guessing or waiting. It's very steamy, and I'm not a professional. I'm just doing this for fun, so I know you can't see what it looks like right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and get a bowl ready, get this served up, and then I'll show you all what it looks like. Alright, so I'm back. Show you guys what it looks like. And it looks like that. It's like so hot right now I can't even try it. But I'm gonna show you what I do to make it so I could eat it right away. Put a little bit of this pepper jack in there. Then I'm gonna put about that much. And the sour cream gives it a good flavor. And it, since this is cool, you know, it was in the fridge, it'll kind of cool it out. Cool it down, I mean. You can see how hot that shit is. That cheese is just like melting away. But I'm telling you, this is good. And those peppers, those two peppers I had, they are jalapenos, but they're, I can't think of what they're called. They're like, I think they might call them monster jalapenos or jumbo or something. But they're about the size of, each one's about as big as 2 regular jalapenos. So you could just use 4 peppers if you want. And I like to eat my chili with cornbread or just regular bread. But, you know, like baked bread, not like Wonder Bread or anything like that. It's so good. This is like 10 times better than Wendy's chili. And the other thing too, with chili, I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's because it has time to like sit and soak up all the stuff, but it always tastes better like the next couple of days. So the leftovers are going to be even better. Because all that seasoning and spices and stuff, it has time to like mix around and absorb stuff like that. It's a little hot, but I just got a good taste. It's not too spicy at all. You know, if you're giving this to someone who doesn't like spicy food, they won't even know. And if you want to make it spicier, you could just add a little hot sauce in there, which is probably what I'm going to do. But it's just delicious. Like I said, you could do this with, you know, I'm using venison, but you could use ground beef. You could use ground turkey. I have people in my family who eat a lot of ground turkey. And probably use ground pork. Then the other thing you could do is you can, like I said, you could cut up like a chuck roast, a deer roast, something like that. Cut it up in sugar cube sized pieces, and then use about 2.5, 3 pounds of that, and that comes out really good. But I chose to use ground today just because I'm trying to get rid of some of it because I have a lot of it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'm gonna post the recipe. Well, all the ingredients with the exact measurements in the description. Because with chili is like one of the few things I actually measure for. Because if you don't, it'll never come out the same. Like, I'm not saying it's not going to come out good. It'll just never be exactly the same. So I started writing down what I do until I found one that tasted exceptionally well. And that's what this is. Well, measurement wise, that's what this is. But alright. Thanks for watching.